Welcome to the Postpartum Performance Podcast. If you're here to be empowered and encouraged, you're in the right place. I believe every woman deserves to learn who's in her corner, which is why this podcast was created, to share encouragement and intentional conversations around women's health, nutrition, and wellness for new mothers. In each episode, we will discuss ways for women to find truth for her health, to feel strong, and to be confident from the inside out. I'm your host, Dr. Lindsay Peczkowski, a performance physical therapist with a passion for teaching others about pelvic health and guiding mothers to build movement, confidence, and strength. I'm a lover of running and weightlifting and a healthy cooking enthusiast. All right, ladies, grab your coffee and settle in for an episode of the Postpartum Performance Podcast. Are you with me? Here we go. Hey ladies, welcome back to the Postpartum Performance Podcast. Today on the show, I have guest Fran Callaghan, who is such a sweetheart and so passionate about the work that she does. I'm so excited to have you all take a listen to our conversation. We talk about baby massage, what it is, and the benefits of it. We talk about having the power of your own mom tribe, investing in yourself, and the connection of mind and body and the postpartum time. A little bit more about Fran. She is the founder and owner of Heartfelt Baby Massage. Fran has experience working and supporting children and families in her career for over 15 years. She has a Bachelor's of Art in Education from the University of Reading in England and an international qualification as a baby massage, baby yoga, and developmental play instructor accredited by Royal College of Midwives, Federation of Holistic Therapists, and International Complementary Therapists Association. It has been her goal to support children to thrive, and so her journey continued with the inspiration for starting Heartfelt Baby Massage. And it came after the birth of her baby in March of 2018. She became a mother and has been a long wish of hers, and with her partner by her side, she felt so fortunate to share in the most incredible gift of love that anyone could ever be blessed with. Her journey wasn't easy, and we dive into more specifics on that in the show, but finding that she felt there was a need for new mothers, and with her interest in baby massage, that is where Heartfelt Baby Massage was originated from. So without further ado, ladies, we talk about some great things, lots of encouragement for those in need of that, and just hearing some great advice from Fran. It was such a treat to connect with her, and I really hope that you enjoy the conversation as much as I did. Without further ado, ladies, let's get to the show. Hi, Fran. Welcome to the Postpartum Performance Podcast.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Of course. So we have Fran here today, and she is from Heartfelt Baby Massage, and we're going to talk all things about baby massage and so much more. But I would love for you to share a little bit more about yourself personally, and then also just kind of what is Heartfelt Baby Massage and how did that get started?
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here to be able to share with you all about baby massage. I'm a mum. I have a little one who's 2.5 years old. I've worked with children and families my whole career. So for the last 16, 17 years now. And it was with the birth of my daughter that I was really inspired and motivated to actually take a little change in my career, still working loosely in the field of education and supporting children and families, but really wanting to focus on that time for new mums that I personally found really challenging and much more challenging than I had anticipated. So I decided to take it upon myself to retrain and gained a qualification in baby massage, baby yoga, and parental support. So really looking to support new mums in not just having a tool to use at home, but actually wanting to bring people together as well. So a big part of my journey in becoming a mum was supported by finding my mum tribe, by finding those other mums that I could share all of the joys and challenges with, and realize that what I was experiencing, that others were as well, and just having the relief in knowing that I wasn't walking that journey alone. So I really wanted to take the opportunity to bring people together, to make sure that there was a really safe and welcoming space for new mums to come and share in wherever they were at with their journey, to just show up and be themselves and do what they need to do to take care of their babies and their time with me, but to also provide people with an incredible tool in learning baby massage. And certainly everything that I experienced as a new mum with my daughter, in terms of, I had a little one who was colicky, she had digestion problems, she had reflux, she had a lot of tension. We had a very late diagnosis of tongue tie, which meant low milk supply for myself as well. And in all of that, I just kept reading about baby massage, but I couldn't find anywhere to teach me. And I didn't want to just learn off YouTube. I wanted to be able to go somewhere and know that I could trust a qualified person in teaching me how to massage my baby properly, because, she was the most precious thing in the world to me. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing that right. So in not being able to find anywhere, that's when I decided, okay, this is an opportunity here for me to actually train myself and to bring people together. So my tagline for Heartfelt Baby Massage is actually together we learn, we grow, we love. And that togetherness is so important to me. And I'm really pleased it's something that people feel in my classes, a sense of not just coming together in that beautiful bond with your baby, but actually coming together as mothers in the class as well, whether that's online or in person.
Awesome. I love that. I think that's why we got along so well when we were connecting, is just finding ways for the moms to have tools and to build that community, because I know from women that I've worked with, it can be really isolating those first couple of months and weeks. And especially if your baby's having, they're not just like the perfect baby, like especially when they're more colicky or different things going on. And I think that's just awesome that you were able to find that need and create a space for the mothers and for the babies as well, which I wanted to touch on because you had heard so much about baby massage, but because it's not common here in the US, really very much at all, right? So where is it? Because I think it's mostly similar to a lot of the postpartum care, I guess, that's more common in like European countries and things like that. So where had you first kind of heard about it and seeing it be done, and then now bringing it to the US? How has that been going for you?
So as you might tell from my accent, I'm from the UK originally. So I've been over here for 5 years. And so I think I knew of it originally from the UK. And actually my training provider is UK based. And in the UK, it's huge. It's just everywhere. It's just part and parcel of what you do. A bit like, I think, like Mummy and Me yoga classes out here are more common, for instance. But baby massage, certainly in the UK and Europe, is much more typical. Baby massage originates in India and Sweden. And obviously the Indian practices, they're sort of hundreds of years old. Sweden, a little bit more modern. And they both have different influences in terms of the baby massage that we use. But certainly in Europe and in Asia, it's huge. So I was kind of surprised in moving to California that it wasn't as prevalent. And as I say, I really struggled to find somewhere to teach me. And it's been lovely actually connecting with people like yourself, and other people within health and wellness communities have been very welcoming of me contacting them and just reaching out, letting them know about what I do, and just saying, oh, that's, I want that as part of the practice, or I've really wanted this for our mothers to be able to signpost people, but it has been waiting for someone to come along and do it. So I was really pleased to find that niche in a way, and I just hope that more people actually will come on board to learn how to teach others, because I certainly can't teach all of the mothers out there. So I'd like there to be more and more people coming on board to actually teach baby massage with me, to help spread the word and educate mums about the benefits, because there are so many.
Yeah. Please share some. If you could do some of your like top benefits and kind of first, what is baby massage? Because we've been talking about it kind of collectively, but for some people they're like, okay, what does that mean? Just like how do I massage my baby, or what does that mean? And then some of the benefits.
So, in terms of what is baby massage, baby massage, the way that I teach baby massage is skin to skin. Using oils. My big recommendation would be an organic sunflower seed oil, actually, for a number of different reasons. And I talk about it in a bit more detail in my classes. But basically, something like an organic sunflower seed oil is really easily absorbed into the skin. It doesn't block the pores. And it's very, very sensitive on little one's skin. So I work with babies from 6 weeks and up. I don't work with babies prior to 6 weeks, just because at that age their skin is actually really sensitive, super sensitive. And baby massage, in the way that, we do go into a full body massage with them, and it can be too stimulating before 6 weeks of age. So we approach it really slowly and steadily. My initial classes for mums is a 4-week series. So we learn about a different part of the body each week and building up the mum's confidence in actually doing the massage, as well as the baby's experience in receiving the massage, so that they're not overstimulated and it can just be a very gentle and natural process. But as I say, prior to 6 weeks, I wouldn't encourage baby massage. Skin to skin is absolutely beautiful. Touch is the very first sense to be developed in the womb. So it is the most developed sense at birth, which is why skin to skin is so important for new mothers. But actual stimulation of that skin through massage can be a little bit much prior to 6 weeks of age. So the mums that come to my classes, whether that's online or in person, I always say I never touch people's babies, even pre-COVID. Okay, that's not my job. My job is to teach new mums, to give new mums the confidence that they are 100% the right person for the job, because it is as a mother and through having that bonding experience that you can really give your baby so much reassurance and comfort, and release all those beautiful hormones, the endorphins, oxytocin, for both the baby and the mother, that can really help to create that wonderful bonding experience. And I encourage all of my mums to be looking at baby massage becoming part of their everyday routine at some point in the day. Quite often that's a pre-bedtime routine, which is lovely after having a nice bath. And just something to help to calm both mum and baby at the end of the day, because we don't want to just feel relaxed once we've put baby to bed. Our babies feed off us so much. They feed off our emotions. They have been living in our womb for 9 months, so they know our heartbeat. They know how we breathe. Even when our body temperature raises, they are probably the best reader of our emotions than anyone else we know. So learning how to relax with your baby through something like baby massage can be hugely beneficial for both mother and baby in that journey together, as you learn about one another and respond to each other's cues and just feel comforted by one another, really. So bonding is a huge benefit. Another one of the benefits, and I kind of like to put them in 4 different categories. So bonding is one, sleep is another huge one. So many mums who come to my class who are definitely relieved to share in some similar experiences that they might be having with their babies in terms of sleep, or their lack of sleep, or their baby's lack of sleep. And baby massage can absolutely support your baby to just get a better night's sleep, a deeper night's sleep, to be more relaxed in going to sleep, so that we can try and avoid that witching hour, as some call it. So we really want to be trying to prevent those times and help those colicky moments as well, that can easily come about. So sleep is huge, and sleep is not just nice for our own sanity and for our babies, but it's actually hugely important. So our bodies work best when they are at rest, right? So that's when they're growing, they're developing. There's so much development going on for their brain and their body and their digestive system. And so that sleep is hugely important for that development. So it's why it's not just a nice to have. It's not just that we're feeling really tired because our baby won't sleep. No, actually, investing in really great sleep for our babies is really important for their development. So that's another big one. My third one, so bonding, sleep. The third one would be development as a whole. So in baby massage, what we're actually doing is we're increasing the baby's circulation, slightly raising their body temperature in doing so, and just sending richly oxygenated blood all the way around the body, to make sure that we're getting that circulation to all of the different parts of their body to really help with development. So the digestive system, if I take that as an example, in baby massage, we can be doing all sorts of different things with that. But typically, there's so much immaturity in a baby's body when they are born. So your digestive system is very immature when you are born. And we are working our babies towards being able to take on solids. And just them passing through their mother's milk and getting used to that, or might be a formula approach that you're taking. Whatever the approach is, that digestive system has to get used to taking in those fluids and passing them through. But the bowel wall, for instance, is very immature. So actually in doing baby massage, what we can be doing is strengthening that bowel wall by sending that beautifully oxygenated blood to that area and really helping to strengthen that so that they can ultimately pass their gas and their waste through more easily. So, but in the meantime, the baby massage is helping to do the job for them, because we can really stimulate that area and echo what their natural system would otherwise be doing.
Very cool.
So development, bonding, relaxation, development, and thirdly, easing pain. So our babies have a lot of what I like to call niggles, which I found out yesterday in a class seems to be a British expression. So there's one for you, that little niggle that our babies might have. So any of those little aches and pains that are really typical. So teething, for instance, or blocked sinuses, congestion. It's very easy for our babies to get congested. They've got tiny little nasal passages. And unfortunately, unlike you or I, there's not much that they can take or that we can really do for them to help them to clear that. They don't know how to blow their nose. They can't, have a nice, really hot, steamy bath or, inhale or, there's not a huge amount out there that you can do. And I think it's at those times when mums sometimes feel a little bit helpless. And, is it just a matter of waiting until they get through it? Well, there are some things that you can do. And certainly baby massage can help. We do some lovely chest massages that can really help open up the chest, help to move some of that mucus away and break that down for them, opening up the chest to get a really lovely deep breath through for them, some face massage that can help with blocked sinuses and to ease any of that pain. So those typical aches and pains and ailments teething, as I mentioned, can all be supported by baby massage as well. So for me, it's like, I feel like it's just a whole shebang of amazing tools. And that's just for the baby. And what I like to make sure that my mums know is that baby massage is for them as well. So there are benefits, and there's been a lot of research done around how baby massage can support with things like postpartum depression, with milk supply, even in supporting a mother's letdown due to the relaxation process, and with things like postpartum depression and anxiety, that bonding experience obviously playing a huge role for the mother as well in her journey. So it's not just for baby, it's absolutely something that's beautiful for mum and baby.
Yeah, that's huge and so fantastic too, because I think initially when you hear baby massage, you're thinking, oh, this is going to help my baby and it's all about the baby. But I love your focus on the bonding piece and for the mother, because that transition is so different. And the fact that I love the touch piece of it and that bonding, because that, especially with some of that postpartum depression or anxiety, that usually is where there's almost like you don't want to touch, or you don't, and so it's making, it's like a graded exposure therapy almost, in a way, it sounds like, for the classes.
And it's normalizing in inverted commas for that for both mom and baby. Touch is, for some people it can be very natural straight off, and for others, that level of stimulation and touch is more of a process, and that's fine. Wherever you're at in that journey, it's a learning process for everybody, and there's going to be some things that you feel really comfortable in being a new mother, and other things that are a bit more out of your comfort zone. And it's another reason why we just take it steady in the classes and build that up, so that everybody, mother and baby, feel really comfortable in that. And, I know that for me, in my own journey, all my life I'd wanted to be a mother. That was like my number one goal. It's like, I wanted to get married, and then I wanted to have babies, and I absolutely couldn't wait. And then I had my baby, and it was great, and I love her to pieces, but it was so much more challenging than I had ever anticipated. And I had absolutely had times where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And if I'm not supposed to do this, if I'm not supposed to be a mother, what am I supposed to do? I thought this is what I was supposed to do all my life. And, I think it's so important to talk about those emotions and to be able to be really open with people about your experiences, so that other people can feel like, oh, whatever it is I'm thinking or feeling, it's okay, and there is a way to work through these things. And, for me as a baby massage instructor, I might not have all the answers, but it's lovely being part of a wider community, and obviously connecting with people like yourself as well, to be able to signpost mums too. And I just think the more that we work together, and the more open that we are about challenges and whatever they might be, the more opportunity that we have to make sure that everybody's getting the support that they need.
Absolutely. I appreciate you sharing that, Fran, because that conversation, like you're saying, does need to happen regardless of kind of those thoughts or things going through. That's a big life transition, becoming a mother, and that it's changing, and to be able to acknowledge the thoughts that you have, and to know, okay, this is going to be different. And it's okay if you're having not the best day, or you might be thinking something one way or the other, but to know I'm not the only one, even if, like someone else has thought something similar, I'm sure. And having those conversations, which I think is awesome with building that mom tribe, like you mentioned, is huge, because I think about any source of community that we can have, but then having that collective experience, even though everyone's, pregnancy and birth and labor story is a little bit different, but having that commonality too is so, so important. And so I just find that so awesome, though, that you have that kind of combination with that because it's good for baby and for building those relationships. I even think of like, as the kids grow up, they might be able to have like their own little play dates then with their baby massage group and stuff like that. Which is such a cool community that you're fostering and growing, which is great. So good.
And I think one of my favorite comments from mums that I ever had was, I had a mum come to my class who was an occupational therapist and worked with a lot of babies and children herself. And she came to my classes and afterwards she just said to me, and she was quite knowledgeable in that field of, babies and milestones and this sort of thing and child development. And she just said, I never knew until I came to your classes that I needed the support of other mums. And it was that realization that actually that was a really important part of her journey, and the opportunity to share and the importance of sharing was just something that she realized needed to be part of that journey for her in giving her that support, despite her background and her own education, piece around babies. So that for me was really fulfilling in terms of being able to bring people together and make sure that mums really feel supported in the space that I can provide for them.
That's fantastic. That kind of goes along with, so I usually ask guests, what I wish I would have known sooner topic that comes up. I feel like that might be taking the cake on that for the moms to realize that they have the opportunity to share what they're going through with other people. But if there's anything else that you have come across with your clients or with the mothers that you're working with of topics that, I think besides the obvious baby massage, but any other things, if there's anything that comes to mind with that question of, I wish I would have known this sooner.
I think it's really interesting for new mums because there's just so much. There's so much build up to having a baby. You have the build up of, well, you decide with your partner, perhaps you've decided, or perhaps it's a surprise to try and get pregnant. So there's that piece. And then there's the pregnancy itself and all of those milestones in working through pregnancy, in taking care of your baby already in that moment, as well as yourself in that time, preparing for childbirth. And I think for me, and maybe it was a little naive, but I thought about bringing my baby home and had all these lovely little outfits for her. And, we got the nursery ready, although we didn't use that for the first 6 months because she's with us. And there's a lot of excitement around her actually arriving. And I think the anxiety piece at that time, certainly for me in my experience, and I see this with other mums as well, is more around the pregnancy stage and just getting there and then just getting through childbirth. And there's so much in that actually in terms of the what you wish you could have known sooner, it's like, well, in a way, it would be great to know about all of the milestones and sleep progressions and, a bit more about sleep cycles or breastfeeding or the digestive system and tummy troubles and these sorts of things. But for me, I think that would have just been overload. And I think, you just take it one step at a time. But in your recovery, once you've given birth, then you're at home and encouraged to cocoon with your baby and really, there is that isolating time. And that time is difficult because there's lots of things that in the moment where you wish you could have known it sooner. But I don't think that you were perhaps going to be able to focus on that until whatever challenge is coming about, it is presented to you. And every baby's different as well in that way. So, and that's the beauty of babies. They're also unique, but it's also the challenge with them too. And so I definitely feel that with mums coming to the heartfelt baby massage classes, that they you almost see that relief drop from their shoulders when they hear somebody else talking about something that they're similarly experiencing. And I think that's the definite, I wish I would have known sooner, as in, I wish I would have known sooner that other people were also experiencing this in a very similar way to me. And that whole relief, but for me as well, not only seeing the relief, but then being able to offer them something that can tangibly support them with that challenge is really motivating for me, absolutely, in supporting these mums. So yeah, I think the wish I would have known sooner is just that whole normalizing everything, finding those commonalities, knowing that, when you're up in the middle of the night walking the floorboards with your baby, you're definitely not the only one. You're joined by millions of other mothers out there who are going to be doing exactly the same at exactly the same time as you. Just finding that camaraderie and bringing people together is the I wish I would have known sooner.
Yeah, no, that's so good. And I appreciate you sharing that, because again, it's just bringing that to light a little bit more. And that's kind of why this podcast was started, was because I want moms to know they're not alone in any of this. They're not alone, whether it's something related to their baby's a little bit more colicky. What can they do? Maybe they can try some baby massage, or if they're having, pelvic floor dysfunction, like go see a pelvic health PT. Like there's a ton of people out there to help. And even if that person doesn't necessarily do what you might need, there's so many resources and networking within that scope. And so letting people know, like, hey, bring it up. You never know. They might have a friend that does this, or know someone in the area, or reach out and have so many Facebook groups now too, or things on social media that you can just send out, like, hey, any, baby massage people in this area, or like, oh, they do online. I can go see them online, and it doesn't matter where they're living. So yeah, no, that was fantastic. I think that's much, much needed.
And it's so similar in that way. Just hearing you talk as well, Lindsay, is certainly in terms of that, the pelvic floor and your recovery. And certainly that was a big part of my journey, but it's that whole realization that although you can have that commonality with others, it's like, but you also want to know that there's another step. It's like, there's the point of realizing, okay, well, this is an issue for me. And is this just for me? It's like, no, okay, it's not just for me. Others are experiencing that too. And that realization is really comforting, that others are experiencing it too. But then it's also knowing that we can help by really supporting mums. And I know that the both of us really are passionate about making sure that mothers know that for all of these things, there are solutions. There are ways in which we can support people through that. So it doesn't have to be, oh, well, let's just wait it out and it's a phase, it'll end. Because, well, for some things they might, but for other things that means they could drag on a lot longer than they need to, and be a challenge that doesn't actually need to be present. So I think it's just wanting to support people out of those moments of, okay, great that you've realized it, but let's do something about it as well, so that we can positively impact your life and free you up to do other things, and to be the mother that you want to be, or not just as a mother, but lead the life that you want to be able to lead, without having to always focus on, well, that challenge is going to hold me back.
Absolutely. What for you, kind of going off of that, what for you has worked for kind of moving forward with that, having, some of the challenges that you had when having your daughter, and kind of moving forward with that? What was maybe like something that really worked for you, to kind of move forward, and get past some of that? And even if it is something that, still lingers around here and there, but what has been something for you?
I think for me personally, in terms of my own restoration, if you like, or even getting to know my own new self, certainly physically, it helped when I took the pressure off myself a little. I think initially I was happy to just be like, do you know what? I've just had a baby. I'm not in a rush. I shouldn't rush back. But in my mind, not being in a rush was, well, I won't try and run at 6 weeks, but I'm sure by 12 weeks postpartum, I'll be back to running. And I'm a keen runner. I love to run. That's certainly a big endorphin booster for me. So that was my goal. And I could, there was no way I was ready to do that at that point. And I realized I kept going out, kept trying to run. It wasn't great for me. My pelvic floor did not want to support me in doing that. So I ended up deciding, okay, I'm going to put running to the side for a minute, and I just need to have something I can stick to, because also there were only a few moments ever, if maybe once a month, a couple of times a month, certainly initially, where I could really get out and, have any proper time to go and do anything for a long period of time. So I changed up the way that I exercised and realized I needed to look after a different part of my body than I'd really needed to focus on in the past, and really needed to support that core strength. So I ended up just sticking to, right, let's just try 10 to 15 minutes a day. And if I can just do that, and maybe just 10 to 15 minutes a day, Monday to Friday. Maybe if I don't get to do it at the weekend, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I noticed in doing that and in setting myself that challenge, that was so much more manageable. And being able to explain to my husband, look, I just need to do this. I need this 10 to 15 minutes a day, so that he knew where I was at. And that my goal for that was to get me back into a place where I would feel comfortable to go running when I maybe had a little bit more time at some point. I'm not quite sure when that time comes yet. But
I know you've got so much going on still.
It's like preparing yourself. And so for me, a big thing is just trying to take the pressure off new mums as well. It's very unlikely that you have the luxury to spend an hour on yourself each day in terms of physical restoration. But I think it's getting to know your new body and accepting it, that it could be stronger than before you had a baby, but it's still going to be different. And you're still going to need to focus on different areas of yourself, and to perhaps maintain that a little bit more than you had previously as well. So, yeah, my big piece of advice is take the pressure off and just do it in tiny chunks, something really manageable. Mm-hmm. If your little one is on any kind of routine, just I try and time mine in for like the 10, 15 minutes before I know my little one typically wakes up, so that it's done for the day, and then I don't have to think about it for the rest of the day. And everybody's different, but that's certainly worked and helped me to not feel like, I need to try and do an hour's exercise each day, because it's just not feasible for me right now.
Absolutely. And I think that routine, I think for many people right now, just in general, because I think the carpet or the rug's been pulled from underneath us for the past couple of months, but finding that routine of whatever that is, whether that is the 10, 15 minutes of dedicating that time and knowing like, okay, well, this will get done. If I do anything else later on in the day, awesome. That's a bonus. Yeah, absolutely. But I have taken care of myself so that I can show up for the ones around me.
Yeah, completely. And now I feel like I'm in a better place to be able to, when I have those moments where I can do a little bit more. We just invested in a bike that we have in our garage.
Oh, fun. Nice, nice.
So now I can actually make the most of those moments and get on that. And also I can run again, because I did invest in those 10, 15 minutes a day. And even if that's 20 minutes around the block, I can go out and I can do that, because my body's more ready for that. But I think definitely as a new mum, I have to work a little bit more at keeping on top of that. So that's been new. But yeah, so you've got to just take the pressure off yourself as well. I definitely wasn't a mum who bounced straight back as I thought I would. And I remember my sister saying to me, because I was like, we should sign up for this run together. And she was like, Fran, you're going to have given birth like 4 months before then. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I'll be fine by then. I mean, that's okay. Just hold off, okay? Just hold off.
Yeah, you never know. I have a lot of people asking similar things, and it's the same thing of like, I want women to be empowered, and like, yes, you can get back to doing some of these things, but sometimes it's the time frame that I'm like, maybe not this year, or maybe not like that race. Let's pick another one a few months after that one, or something like that. But it's having that time frame.
That's not to say that for some moms that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Our bodies are all so different, and our birthing experience is also different, and you can't anticipate or plan for that either. So I think it's just accepting the new you, embracing it, and just learning about your body and taking it day by day. But just having it in the back of your mind certainly as a priority still for me has been helpful, because I absolutely believe in that combination of your physical health as impacting and supporting your mental well-being. And so it is really important for me to be able to maintain some kind of physical exercise in my week, so that really makes a huge impact on my mental health. Yeah.
That's great. So I wanted to ask, I was thinking about also for baby massage in general, there's so many benefits that you were mentioning. Are there any times that you would maybe guide a mother you had said not for the first 6 weeks, anything else that would kind of stand out as like maybe wait a little bit, or is there any point where you stop baby massage, or is it pretty much like, no, you just continue I'm curious about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple of different points. So I always ask for if your baby has any chronic medical conditions, it's absolutely imperative that you get sign off from your doctor before taking up any baby massage. Otherwise, the general rule of thumb is that you don't massage within half an hour after feeding your baby, to make sure that everything is digested as it needs to be. That we don't massage within 72 hours of immunization, or if your baby is ill at all. So if they have a fever, if they have diarrhea, any undiagnosed lumps and bumps or rashes, and with illness or with immunizations, that's because when we're massaging, we are slightly raising that base body temperature, and increasing circulation. So we don't want to be pushing anything around the body that the body's trying to fight off. So we want to avoid that. But otherwise you should be good to go. Now, obviously, within the classes and within teaching each different body area, there are some important safety points that I like to point out. And it's another reason why, for me, I didn't feel comfortable learning from YouTube, because, our babies' bodies are delicate. They're still changing. There's, plates in their head that are still fusing, and their spine, and the areas that we don't want to put pressure on. So I would encourage you to come to a heartfelt baby massage class so that you can learn all of those different parts and make sure that you feel confident in doing that safely. In terms of how long you massage for, there needs to be no end point. So I actually have a follow-on class to my initial class, which is more for our sort of more wriggly babies. My movers, massage and more class, which combines baby massage with yoga-inspired movement. So it is yoga for babies. It's not the typical mummy and me yoga. It's just yoga-inspired movements for babies. And really that's all about starting to help babies to cross the midline of their body. So that left-right brain coordination, starting to have a bit more balance challenges in there now that they've got a bit more head control, helping with their core strength, hip mobility. So we bring those in to support and change up the massage routine as they're getting a bit more wriggly. When our babies are really small, they're much more compliant.
Yeah. You can move them around a little easier.
Lying on their backs and just, happily having a massage. But as they start to want to explore and are able to roll over and start to crawl, then we need to keep them engaged in other ways. So that class is a bit faster paced and just helps them to participate a little bit more. There's some more songs and things in that class that we bring in just to keep that engagement for them, and some more movement there. And personally, I love having a massage. So massage is something that I hope people will benefit from their whole lives. It doesn't need to stop when children are babies, and certainly some of the massage that I teach can actually support children as they're going through like growing pains and things like this. I'm always saying to my moms, remember this one for when your little one's waking up in the night with growing pains in their legs. This is a good one. So there's no end. There doesn't need to be an end. As I say, I love a massage. Unfortunately, right now I can't get one, but
hopefully soon. Yeah,
I know. I shouldn't say that actually. I know that there are some people who are providing massages again, but a little harder to come by these days. But certainly I hope it will continue. And it's really nice actually, the mums that come to my classes who have older maybe second or third time mums, and they have older kids at home who maybe they didn't learn baby massage with, and have come back to me and said, oh, now I have to give my toddler a massage too because they've seen me doing this with the baby and now they want it.
Yeah, me too.
And it's the same for my little one. Now she's old enough to communicate with me. If she has, she's having any little tummy troubles, she will come to me and say, Mummy, can I have a tummy massage? And it's so lovely that she just enjoys that, and she knows that that's really helpful for her. And that's always reassuring when they can actually start to vocalize, this thing helps me, Yeah, so there's a little phrase, proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. Always nice to get that validation.
Absolutely. So you've mentioned now a few times that you're still doing classes online and in person.
Yeah.
For listeners that are wanting to reach out to you, whether that's to attend a class or just to connect with you and learn more about what Heartfelt Baby Massage is, where's the best place for people to reach out?
So you can easily head over to my website, which is just heartfeltbabymassage.com. All of the information is on there. I deliver in-person classes at Alta Vista Botanical Gardens, which is in Vista. It's beautiful. It's an outdoor location. It's incredibly serene. I am actually, a silver lining of these times has definitely been finding this outdoor location that I didn't know could add such a beautiful, calming element to the classes. So that's been lovely. And the classes are really small. So they're nice and intimate still, and everybody can very easily, safely, socially distance and just look after each other in that in-person class. And also throughout this time, I have started delivering classes online, which has been really nice and really important for me to still be able to connect people together. But has also widened the opportunity to many more mums to actually be able to come and benefit from learning baby massage. Within that, I will also say I sometimes have groups of mums who will come to me requesting to do massage, and I actually come out to people's homes as well. So historically that was inside people's homes, and now we've just moved that to in people's gardens or their backyards.
Yeah.
So a little different again. But if there's a group of you, 3 to 6 mums and babies who want to come together to learn baby massage together and have that lovely experience together, then there's a contact form on my website as well. So you can just contact me so that we can sort out the time and date to suit you as well.
Awesome. That sounds like a really fun, I feel like a birthday party or like a little mom get together where you're, doing something. It's like the paint nights, except for a baby massage.
Absolutely.
I love that idea. That's so cool.
And it really saddens me to hear mums who have unfortunately felt like they in this time have missed out on their maternity leave and their experiences because of the year that we've had this year. And I just want people to know that there are opportunities out there for you to still have some wonderful experiences with your baby really safely with other mums, and just to reassure people that I'm still here for you, and you can absolutely come and have this wonderful experience. So please don't feel like your maternity leave has been robbed of you. I'd still love to support anybody out there who wants to come and just enjoy some really special time with your baby and in meeting other mums as well.
Fantastic. Now, I think any listeners, you can clearly hear that Fran is so passionate about this and such an encourager for mothers. So really take her up on this because she's so sincere about it. So last question that I have for you today. So hypothetical question. So you are waiting in line at a coffee shop about to order your chai tea latte and there's a mother that comes up to you and she's holding her baby and she says, you just look like someone I could talk to about this, but I'm a new mom struggling with staying healthy and kind of finding my new routine as a mother. What would you recommend? You have 1 minute before you have to get off to another class teaching baby massage.
Wow.
Loaded question.
That is, isn't it? That's quite the question. In terms of keeping healthy, I think for me, it's I would be encouraging her to look after her mind and her body, okay? Make sure that she's doing something for herself, as well as her baby. For new mums, a lot of new mums who are returning to work pretty swiftly, we don't have huge maternity leave over here and all of that. Make the most of that time. Make sure that you invest in some experiences together, because mentally, that can really support to just alleviate some of that really typical mum guilt when you go back to work. Having something like baby massage that you can still return to really easily after a work day is really a really beautiful way to keep that connection and to help with that mental health. And then I think I would just return to make sure you find some time for yourself where you tell your partner, I just need my 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you can squeeze out of them, to just help myself to get to a place where I feel stronger physically as well. That physical and mental balance is so important as a new mum. And, they've got to be able to feel like they can do the best job they can do. I want mums to know it's okay to invest in themselves. It's okay to take the time for themselves they've been carrying a baby for 9 months. They're going to need some time to adjust both mentally and physically. So I would just be making sure that mums take the time for yourself, find those experiences that they can have together with their baby, and relax, enjoy it, because it goes by in the blink of an eye.
That's perfect advice. I think that is great stuff to be considering and just to be mindful of for listeners and for people, regardless of if they've had children or not had children or just wherever they're at. I think that is fantastic advice, Fran. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Lindsay, for inviting me. It's been a real pleasure.
Absolutely. Happy to have you on. And we'll include in the show notes Fran's contact information so you can get a hold of her and get signed up for a baby massage class, because the benefits we already talked about are so important. So we're here to help and we're in your corner. So thank you again, Fran, for being a part of the show.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Postpartum Performance Podcast. I appreciate you taking the time to listen, learn, and grow. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for being here. The aim of this podcast is to provide oodles of the best possible content to help empower women, eliminate the phrase, "I wish I would have known sooner" around pelvic health, and to encourage personal growth through the postpartum journey to becoming the best version of yourself. If you enjoyed the show and found the content helpful, please remember to subscribe to the podcast and leave a 5-star review. These subscriptions and reviews help other mothers discover the podcast. If you're a regular listener, thank you. I encourage you to tell a friend about us or post on social media sharing your favorite part for today's show. If you're looking for more content like this, please follow me on Instagram at Postpartum Performance. Remember, mothers, if you're seeking to live life strong, I'm here with you in your corner. Continue to be brave, stay strong, and live confidently.